underrated kid from the suburbs of Toronto who broke a decade-long MVP stronghold, outsmarted legends, and outplayed giants, carried the Thunders to an unprecedented 68-14 season, and produced one of the finest MVP stat lines since Michael Jordan. But how did a soft-spoken Canadian guard become the face of the NBA's greatest offensive season and still walk away unsatisfied? This isn't just about stats. It's about redemption, heartbreak, and the one goal that still haunts Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Stay tuned because today's video will rock you out of your seats.
In this first quarter. Stops, goes right back to work, and lays it up and in.
This season, this run, it was just the latest chapter in a 20-year-long plot twist that nobody outside his circle saw coming. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's story didn't start with mixtapes or viral clips of him breaking ankles in 8th grade. It began quietly in Hamilton, Ontario, a Toronto suburb better known for hockey than basketball. But Shai, he had hoop dreams and track genes. His mother, Charmaine Gilgeous, was a track athlete who competed for Antigua and Barbuda in the 1992 Olympics. The source of his approach isn't much of a mystery. His father, Vaughn Alexander, coached both Shai and his cousin, Minnesota Timberwolves wing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, as a kid. And by the time Shai hit 10, the grind had already started. He bounced from Canada to Chattanooga, Tennessee in search of stiffer competition. A bold move for a high school junior. But that's how badly he wanted it. In high school, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander quietly put up 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. Solid enough to land him a scholarship to the University of Kentucky. But even when he made it to the blue blood basketball factory that is Kentucky, he wasn't the chosen one. He wasn't even a starter, a 4-star recruit who came off the bench for half the season. Coach Cal once said his jumper looked like Charles Barkley's golf swing, more hitch than smooth. You know, that's not a compliment, but Shai didn't flinch. He just kept stacking reps, staying patient, waiting on his moment like a silent assassin. And when that moment came, boom, SEC tournament MVP, top 15 draft pick, except the team that picked him didn't even keep him. Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets for drafting Shai and shipping him off within minutes. He landed in LA with the Clippers, but just 1 year later, boom, traded again. This time OKC in the blockbuster deal for Paul George. And here's the twist. The Thunder didn't even know they were trading for their future franchise player. They thought they were collecting picks and starting a rebuild. Instead, they got that guy. Out of nowhere, the Thunder suddenly had one of the nastiest backcourts in the entire NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was cooking, dropping 19 points, stealing 6 boards, and dishing out 3 assists per game. But the real story? This dude turned ice cold in the clutch. We're talking 58% shooting when it mattered most, leading the whole league in clutch steals, only behind his own teammate, Dennis Schroeder. By year 2, Shai was already leading a playoff team in scoring, and by year 3, he was putting up 24 and 6 on elite efficiency, while casually hitting them game winners. No hype, no shoe deals, just buckets and quiet dominance. You see, Shai isn't the microwavable 5-star YouTube phenom. He's the slow cooker. No flash, all flavor. No mixtapes, all mastery. Even his own journey sounds like a screenplay. He didn't make varsity his freshman year of high school. He didn't start until game 13 at Kentucky. He didn't start in the NBA as a rookie. And yet, year after year, he kept leveling up until suddenly, he was him. And let's not forget the mentor arc. Shai only played with Chris Paul for 17 months, but it was like an NBA Jedi crash course. CP3 saw the discipline, the obsession, the little things, and he poured into Shai like he knew this kid was next. They trained together, ate together, even watched G League games like film junkies. Chris Paul said it best, Shai's a basketball junkie. And when asked about his growth, Shai just shrugged. It's been the story of my life. I've always just gotten better. And the regular season MVP was enough of proof for it.
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do, from what I eat to when I sleep, to my recovery, to my loved ones, everything's consistent. and it's a routine for me at this point.
The MVP. After the MVP dust finally settled, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander officially broke the monopoly. For the first time since his college days at Kentucky, someone not named Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, or Giannis Antetokounmpo took home the league's most coveted individual trophy. And that someone? The 26-year-old from Hamilton, Ontario, who had been casually torching the league like it owed him something. The voting had closed earlier that week, with the winner typically revealed during the second round of the playoffs. But ESPN's Tim Bontemps had already given us a sneak peek with his final straw poll, 100 likely MVP voters, and guess what? 73 had Shai at the top. The remaining 27 still had him second, and as it turned out, having finished second in the voting last season and fifth in 2022-23, he became the second player from Canada to earn the honor, along with two-time winner Steve Nash. Gilgeous-Alexander was also the third player to win the award with the Thunder, joining Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. All those dudes on national TV doing crazy stuff, he watched them and thought, yeah, I can do that too. Shai's MVP case wasn't just strong, it was undeniable. He didn't just hoop, he dominated. He averaged a career high 32.7 points per game, leading the entire league. Tossed in 6.4 assists, grabbed 5 boards, and picked 1.7 pockets per game too. And he did it shooting 51.7% from the field and 37.5% from deep on a career high 6.1 threes per game. Oh, and he led the league in free throws made, nearly a 90% shooter from the stripe. That wasn't just efficient, that was historic. His 63.7% true shooting percentage, almost identical to Steph Curry's legendary MVP run in 2015. Only difference, Shai took more shots, 21.8 per game, the most in the league, and more than Steph had ever averaged in a season. We were talking all-time great stuff here. Only 3 guys in history had averaged 32 plus points, 5 plus rebounds, 6 plus assists, and 1.5 plus steals with at least 60% true shooting. Michael Jordan, James Harden, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But here was the twist. Shai did it playing just 34 minutes a game, and with fewer than 200 turnovers, he had 183, something even MJ never pulled off. Advanced stats? He topped nearly everyone that mattered, and even though Jokic went absolutely bonkers again this year, nearly averaging a 30-point triple-double on even better efficiency, Shai's case was impossible to ignore. And if you ask the man himself, he kept it real. It wasn't just about numbers, it was about winning. If I had these same stats and we were 10th in the West, it wouldn't mean anything, Shai said after a game in Detroit, firing off one of the most confident MVP takes you'd hear. I've averaged 30 before and we were in the play-in and I was 5th in MVP voting. That year, OKC ran through the league like a cheat code. They shattered the all-time point differential record and finished 16 games ahead of second-place Houston and 18 ahead of the Nuggets. Think about it. Gilgeous-Alexander, arguably the best player on the NBA's best team, had been doing this under the radar for years. From the bench at Kentucky to SEC tournament MVP in the same season, and doubling his scoring average between his rookie year and year 3 in the NBA. Sam Cassell said it best. That just don't happen. I've been around MVPs and trust me, it don't fushing happen. But the crazy part, Shai told us this was coming way back in 2021 during New York Fashion Week because of course Shai was that dude. He told GQ straight up, I'm not playing this game just to be a good basketball player. I want to be one of the greatest to ever play. That's always been Shai's vibe, and everyone close to him, yeah, they saw this coming. But what lit the fire under this breakout season? 2 heartbreaks, back-to-back gut punches. First, OKC's brutal second-round playoff loss to Dallas in 2024, despite being the #1 seed. 1 seed, yes? Shai went ballistic, 32.7 points, 8 boards, 7.3 dimes, 1.2 steals, and 3.3 blocks a game. Monster numbers, but still, curtains. Then came Paris, Canada's collapse to France in the Olympic quarterfinals. That one hurt different. Shai sat the squad down and told them straight up, once it was over, I realized it's another 4 fucking years before we get this shot again. That's a long time, so remember how this feels, cause come 2028, we have to be ready. So no, this season wasn't just about MVPs or stat sheets. It was about rings, championships, that one goal even his heroes, Nash, CP3, Iverson, never reached. And if there's one dude who's been quietly building toward that moment, brick by brick, it's Shai. Can the Thunder actually win it all this year? Honestly, it's not that wild anymore. OKC didn't just have a good season, they made history. 68-14, 7th team ever to hit that win mark. Only the 2015-16 Warriors have done better, and 4 of the 6 other squads that hit 68+. They went on to win the whole thing. For the Thunder, it shattered every record, franchise best, even going back to the Seattle Supersonics days. This team didn't just hoop, they dominated, and now it's ring season. Let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to dunk on that subscribe. Until next time.